is so stupid. Why do I have to learn about this stuff?
Hey kid, need some help?
God?
No, this is Kristen, your local history buff. Need some help with your social studies?
Yeah.
So, what are you learning about?
Some stupid thing called the jungle. Something about the meat industry written by this guy called Upton Sinclair.
Oh, that's one of my favorite parts about history. So what do you want to learn about it?
Everything.
Oh, okay. Well, you ready to get started?
Sure.
Okay, let's learn. Upton Sinclair was a famous American writer. Over his lifetime, he wrote over 100 novels. He was also a muckraker. Muckrakers were people who went undercover to expose bad business practices. One of his most successful novels was The Jungle. For 7 weeks, Sinclair went undercover into the Chicago meat industry and wrote about what he saw. And boy, was it ugly. Of the butchers and the floorsmen, the beef boners and the trimmers, and all those who used knives, you could scarcely find a person who had use of his thumb. Time and time again, the base of it had been slashed, till it was a mere lump of flesh against which a man pressed the knife to hold it. They would have no nails. They had been worn off by pulling hides. Their knuckles were swollen so that their fingers spread out like a fan. There were the wool pluckers, whose hand went to pieces even sooner than the hands of the pickle men, for the pelts of the sheep had to be painted with acid to loosen the wool, and then the pluckers had to pull out this wool with their bare hands, till the acid had eaten their fingers off. There were those who made the tin cans for the canned meat, and their hands too were a maze of cuts, and each cut represented the chance for blood poisoning. And as for the other men, who worked in tank rooms full of steam, and in some of which there were open vats near the level of the floor, their particular trouble was that they fell into the vats, and when they were fished out, there was never enough of them to be left worth exhibiting. Sometimes they would be overlooked for days, till all but the bones of them had gone out to the world as Durham's pure leaf lard. There was meat that was taken out of pickle and was often found sour, and they would rub it up with soda to take away the smell, and sell it to be eaten out on free lunch counters. Also, of all the miracles of chemistry which were they performed, given to any sort of meat, fresh or salted, whole or chopped, any color and any flavor and any odor they chose. They saved time and increased the capacity of a plant by a machine consisting of a hollow needle attached to a pump. By plunging this needle into the meat and working with his foot, a man could fill a ham with pickle in seconds. And yet, in spite of this, there were hams be found spoiled, some of them with an odor so bad that a man could hardly bear to be in the room with them. There would be no place for the men to wash their hands before they ate their dinner, and so they made practice of washing them into the water that was to be ladled into the sausage. At the time Upton Sinclair published The Jungle, America was going through the Progressive Era, a period of social activism and political reform through targeting political machines and their bosses. Sinclair wanted to target the horrors of the meat industry. One of the most famous figureheads of the Progressive Era was Teddy Roosevelt. He had helped with the creation of the Forestry Service and stopping corrupt railroad companies out west. But with all of his experience with bad businesses, he didn't believe Sinclair when he read The Jungle.
That's preposterous. That Sinclair's a liar.
In response to The Jungle, Roosevelt sent inspectors to the meat packing plants. Even though the meat plants tried to clean up, the inspectors were able to see through their lies. Everything Sinclair wrote about was true. To stop the disgusting horrors the meat industry tried to cover up, Teddy Roosevelt created the Pure Food and Drug Act and the Meat Inspection Act. The Pure Food and Drug Act made it so that every food or drug produced and sold had to have an ingredient list stating everything that was put into them. The Meat Inspection Act made it illegal to misbrand meat and ensures meat products are produced in sanitary conditions. These acts made it so that people were aware of the food that they were eating. So, did you enjoy learning about Upton Sinclair and the jungle?
Yeah.
Cool. You ready to ace that test?
Yeah.
Great.